Hey there, concrete enthusiasts. Welcome back to theartofconcrete.ca. Today we're diving into the art and science of creating a stampable overlay that's smooth you'd think it was butter. If it was 3000 psi strong. And yes, this is going to be educational, but who said education can't be hilarious? Let's get started. First things first, prep work. You can't build a masterpiece on a wobbly foundation. You've got to grind away the imperfections. Think of it like exfoliating, except instead of your face, it's a 100 square foot slab. Grinding is essential to create a surface the bonding agent can actually bond to. No one likes commitment issues, especially your concrete overlay. So grab your grinder, your dust mask, unless you want to snort concrete dust, and let's grind like we're auditioning for a reality TV show called Concrete Wars. Now let's talk bonding agents. This stuff is like the glue in your concrete sandwich. No bonding agent, your overlay is going to peel off faster than a bad wallpaper in a humid bathroom. Ah, la pièce de la résistance, the overlay mix. This is where the magic happens. Think of it like baking, but instead of cake batter, you're whipping up cement that's strong enough to hold a stamp. Pro tip, add water slowly. Don't just dump it in like you're filling up a kiddie pool. You're aiming for the consistency of pancake batter or a little bit wetter than pancake batter. If it's too watery, you're going to be in for a bad time, especially with overlays. Now it's time to spread the overlay. Channel your inner artist. You're not just troweling concrete, you're creating a canvas for a masterpiece. Keep it even and smooth, because if you don't, your stamps will look like a toddler's finger painting, and nobody's paying top dollar for that. Pro tip, wear old clothes. Concrete doesn't care about your fashion sense. You want a nice, even coat. Kind of like spreading peanut butter on toast, except instead of a knife, you're using a trowel. And instead of toast, it's your concrete porch. Got it? Great, let's roll. This is where things start to take shape. But don't rush. This isn't a race. Think of it more of like icing on a cake, a very heavy, unforgiving cake. Using your trowel to spread the mix evenly across the surface. The key here is consistency, not too thick and not too thin. We're aiming for about 1/4 of an inch thickness, depending on your stamp and depending on what product you're using as a stampable overlay. If it's too thin, your stamp won't always have enough depth. Too thick, and well, congratulations, you just made a concrete lasagna. Either way, no bueno. Pro tip, always check your tools for clumps before spreading. Nobody wants a rogue chunk messing up their smooth finish. And for the love of concrete, keep your edges clean. Sloppy edges make for a sloppy stamp. Notice how I'm feathering out the edges here? This is important if your overlay meets an existing slab or wall. A smooth transition here will make for your final product to look professional, like it was meant to be there in the first place, not slapped on by a weekend warrior. So you can see that I always start around the edges, work my way around just like painting. You want to do your edges first, then fill in the middle. Now let's talk tools. A steel trowel is your best friend for larger surfaces. It helps you achieve that smooth, even texture across the entire slab. If you're working in tight spaces, stick with a smaller hand trowel, even a margin trowel. If you're like me, you'll enjoy pretending you're operating a giant peanut butter knife. Go for the big guns. Don't forget to keep your tools clean as you go. For any kind of concrete work, overlays, stamping, anything, keep your tools clean as you go. If your trowel gets gunky, it'll leave marks on the overlay. Nobody wants concrete graffiti unless that's your thing, in which case, more power to you. Okay, Now listen carefully. This part is crucial. Once your overlay is down, resist the urge to touch it too much. Overworking the surface can lead to cracking or uneven drying. Think of it like a souffle. Don't poke it, don't prod it, and for the love of everything concrete, don't step on it. Trust me, stepping on freshly overlaid concrete is like spilling coffee on a white couch. It's a nightmare and you don't want to live through it. Now, there are some ways to get around that. So let's say you're doing an overlay and somebody walks on it just after you're done. There's a product that you can use called Cherry Blast. It's a clear stampable overlay release agent. So it's sprayable, and you can see us use it in some other videos. You spray it on, then you texture the surface. You can color it after with a product or something that can stain the overlay after. I like this because I can see my texture as it's going down. With some of the powdered release agents, you can't see it once it's stamped. So if you're working with a couple of new people that haven't stamped before, they can sometimes make mistakes. And with the powder overlay, or I'm sorry, the stampable powder release agent, you can't see what you've done after. With this clear Cherry Blast, it's great because you can see what your product looks like. So for newbies or anybody that is getting started in stamping, get the clear release agent. All right, guys, and I also want to make it clear too that these products are designed for overlays. There's all kinds of cements, there's different kinds of stuff on the market at Home Depot. It's all garbage. There's a lot of garbage cement-based products out there, and we like to test our products to make sure, that they're going to last and hold up to our environments. And we're in Canada here, so our climate can be quite aggressive. We can get minus 30-degree days in the winter, and in the summer, we can see plus 30 easily with heat factors and stuff like that. So, we get extreme climates here in Canada, and it's important to understand what kind of products that you're using. Just don't go and get something that is just a cement and slap it on there and think that it's going to last, because these things are tried, tested, and true. And I've seen it. I've seen overlays over the years that are incredible. So, what's a concrete overlay? It's a thin layer of cement-based material applied over an existing slab. Now, the slab has to have no cracks in it, or the cracks have to be repaired prior to any overlays. Think of it as a facelift for your concrete. You can choose from a variety of concrete textures like stone, brick, slate, wood, even compasses add custom designs, giving you endless options to fit your aesthetics. Prices start at $1,600 Canadian, but can vary depending on size and complexity of your project. The $1,600 is just for a basic size porch. Here's another pro tip. If you're working in small sections, overlays can start to set up very quickly, usually within 15 to 20 minutes. So you want to start small batches or small mixes to make sure that you've got it under control. Even like this project, it was colder out that day, but this material set up no matter what. Tools that you're going to need for this type of project are a brass edger, a sponge, a pool trowel. So you can see I'm using a pool trowel here, and that's just a round trowel. You can also use a square. I prefer the round because it leaves a nice feather edge, and you can always work out that edge a little bit better. You're going to need maybe some knee pads, paintbrush, pails, a good mixing drill, something that you can mix the material up well, and also have a helper, because This stuff, like I said, sets up fast. And in the summertime, it's maybe 10 or 15 minutes and this stuff starts drying. And especially in direct sunlight. You can always add some retarders to slow it down. That'll definitely help and give you more work time. But the material is designed in a certain way, so you want to try to follow that as best as you can. Sometimes you always can't, and you have to modify the mix, but do so accordingly and make sure that it's within the standards. So for instance, in this video, we used 2 bags. These were 50-pound bags of overlay, and we started and worked that porch. So you can see the texture on the porch. That was all done prior. And we did that all by hand, worked around the edges, then filled the middle. Now this stuff set up pretty darn quick. For how cool it was setting up pretty darn quick. So we had to stay on top of it. And that's really the key, is making sure that those little details are being done as you go, because you only have one shot, and you mix up, or you miss an area, or maybe there's a clump or something like that, and you miss it, and that's it. You can only do that at that moment. You can't go back and start fixing this once the material is hardened. And that's kind of the biggest mistake most beginners make, is realizing that's your last chance to make this look great. You got one chance for greatness. You got one shot to do it. So make sure when you go for greatness, you do your best. So like I mentioned earlier in the video, is that not every surface can have an overlay. Things that you don't want to have an overlay on are cracked porches that are really badly separated. These overlays, the cracks will just transfer through the overlay. You want to make sure those cracks are repaired prior, then you can put the overlay on. But you have to do your research to make sure that it is doable. And common sense as well. Is that slab just wiggling off? If so, you got to use a strong repair mortar like MG Creed or something like that. So we put the base down, then we retroweled it. This is the important part right here, is getting that surface smooth, smooth, smooth. You can spray a little bit of water with these types of overlays to get it nice and smooth. And here is where the magic happens. Laying your stamp, pressing it firmly, lifting it carefully up, and reveal the texture. Repeat until you've covered the entire surface with dozens of patterns available, wood patterns, all kinds, classic slate, modern wood grain. You can customize your space to match your vision. Let me know what you guys think. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to hit subscribe, leave me a comment. If there's anything I can help you with, just go ahead and let me know. There's the before, there's the after. Thanks for watching. Hit subscribe. Have a great day.